pagbati na may ngiti sa aking mga labi. Naghahanap ba kayo ng makakatuwang sa pag-review ng inyong anak? Meron yan sa DepEd. Ang ETUlay online tutorial ay libre at handog ng ating kagawaran sa pangunguna ng OUA ICTS EdTech. Ito ay isang proyektong makatutulong sa mga mag-aaral, katuwang ang mga magulang o kasama sa kani-kanilang tahanan para masagutan at maunawaan ang mga modules. Hangad din ng programang ETUlay ang matulungan ang ating mga guro sa kanilang mga blended learning classes. Ang ating ETUlay ay mula kinder hanggang senior high school. Bukod sa academics, meron din tayong mga special programs gaya ng All is Wellness, Reading and Math Remediation, Storytelling, Mommy Tech Talks, Classes sa Gramatika, Speech Class, Financial Literacy, at marami pang iba. Pinalawig din ng ETUlay ang ating Alive program para sa mga mag-aaral mula grade 1 hanggang grade 3. Gayun din ay mayroon tayong ALS program at SPED tutorials na makasisigurong makakamit ng lahat ang inclusive education. May SPED hotline na rin para sa inyong mga katanungan patungkol sa special education. Kaya, subaybayan mula Lunes hanggang Biyernes, mula 9:00 ng umaga hanggang 7:00 ng gabi ang ating ETUlay. Sa ating pagtutulungan, maiaangat natin ang bawat isa. Ating itutulay ang pagkatuto upang di mapigil ang pag-aaral ng kabataang Pilipino. Itulay natin ito, sulong edukalidad.
Mabuhay! Good day to all! I am your tutor Madge. Welcome to ETUlay, a free online tutorial, an initiative of the Department of Education, Information and Communications Technology Service, Educational Technology Unit, ICTS EdTech. This program is aimed at helping and assisting learners from kindergarten, senior high school, ALS, Alive, and SPED learners. Aside from answering the modules, the ETUlay is offering programs which you will surely look forward to. Together with our parents and teachers, the ETUlay will bridge the gaps where difficulty and ease meet in learning new knowledge and skills. So, let us prepare our module, pen and paper. Ready your mind to see and hear worthwhile and interesting lessons. Let us now study and learn, together with our volunteer online tutors. Tara na!
A word has a power. It can make or destroy a man. But what is more interesting about words is the fact that we can make them even more powerful by giving them lifelike qualities. And this is where performances of words come in. Here now comes the cruciality of campus journalism in making expressions and information alive. Dearest ETUlay buddies, welcoming you to DepEd ETUlay online tutorial, live in DepEd ETUlay Facebook page and YouTube channel. And here you are in campus journalism for beginners. What a wonderful afternoon we do have in here, our dearest campus journtastics. This is your campus journey amazing tutor, Tutor Zen. And though she's not around for this afternoon session, I am with Tutor War, who will guide you in your journey in campus journalism. Again, good afternoon sa ating lahat, lalong-lalo na sa ating mga campus journtastic learners who are here with us in this afternoon session. Ayan, and shout out to the following students, of course, who are with us, nanunood before pa yung live natin, or they have their comments already begun at the onset of the session. So we have Carlo Miguel B. Malonza, May Angela San Juan, and we also have Baby Grace Pudador, Dan Ryan Bacasnot, Ali Faith Larinata, and George. Hello, George Chrisley B. Flores of 10 SPJ from Ocampo National High School. Hello sa inyong lahat. And how is your afternoon out there, fantastic learners? And by the way, again, no, dear learners, this is the Campus Journalism for Beginners, and we are already in the second quarter of our session. Ayan. This is your tutor Zen from SDO Agusan del Sur. Shout out sa lahat ng mga taga Agusan del Sur dyan, most especially sa aming Schools Division Superintendent, Dr. Minerva T. Alves. At the same time, our dearest school head, Ma'am Shauna B. Cabonilas. And I am with Tutor War once again from SDO Caloocan. Though Tutor War is not here in this afternoon because she needs to attend an equally important event. Ayan. But I know, dear journalistic learners, that Tutor War has been missing you. Same with me. Ayan. So, before we start our session for this afternoon, our journalistic learners, let us have first our sharing of thoughts. Now, okay, to know more about you, to know more what is going on with you dyan sa inyong mga certain areas, our dear fantastic learners, no? So using one word, how will you describe how your day today is? Okay? Think of one word that you can describe what is going on in your life today. Ayan. So, ano nga bang nangyayari sa inyong buhay dyan ngayon? Let me start first with the sharing session. For me, this is the word that I can think of in relation to what is happening in my day today is exciting. Okay, a lot of things has been going on in here, and of course, exciting in the sense na it is still uncertain on what will happen next at the end of this day kasi we are not aware on what will happen pa later on. We still have a lot of hours in here. Hello, Pagaran Floramia. What about you, our dear fantastic learners? Could you share in our comment section on what word can you think of that you can describe in your day today? So we have here from Renz Guyver Calyanta. Awesome. Wow. I'm excited to know more about what has gone in there, Renz, no? Kasi sinabi mo awesome. And then we have Enrico Dalupan. Nice. And then Ryan Bacas, not blessed. Of course, I agree with you, then Ryan too. Happy baby Grace. Yes. Same po tayo. Exciting from Carlo Miguel Malonzo. Ayan. So I love to hear your words, dear fantastic learners. And with the word exciting, I know that you are also excited with the activities that we have prepared for you for this afternoon. Ayan. So, this is our episode guide on the topics that we had discussed and will be discussing in campus journalism for beginners. We are already through with the week one, and it focused on editorial writing. So, for this afternoon, it is still somehow connected with our topic last session, and this is on the column writing or editorial column writing. Ayan. So we have in here again Tutor Zen and Tutor War, and we are already in the column writing. So what are our target goals that we need to achieve after this session? So you learners, you are expected to first define editorial column. Ano nga ba si editorial column? Or sino nga ba siya? Char, sino nga ba siya? The second one is identify the qualities of an editorial column, editorial columnist, and kinds of editorial column. Okay, and the last one is to evaluate an editorial column and its type. And this has something to do with the campus journalistic task of the week. Ayan. But before we move on with the column writing, let us first have a review on the things that we've understood from the previous sessions, our dear journalistic learners. And with that, all you have to do is to write true if the statement is correct and false if it is not in the comment section as I give to you the following statements. Ready na ba, our dear journalistic learners? If you are ready, type 1 in the comment section. Ayan. Hello nga pala sa'yo, Enrico Dalupan. Okay, from, yes, he's watching from YouTube. Ready na ba, our dear Fantastic learners? If you are ready, type 1 in the comment section. Ayan, so we have in here, hello, BB Jean Ibanez Tante. Carlo Miguel Malonzo. Yes, ready na. Let's have the first statement in here. Number one question. Editorial is an expression of fact and opinion in concise, logical, pleasing order for the sake of entertaining or influencing opinion or policies. Again, editorial is an expression of fact and opinion in concise, logical, and pleasing order for the sake of entertaining or influencing opinion or policies. What do you think is the answer, our dear Fantastic learners? Is it true or false? Type your answers in the comment section. Ayan. Okay. Ready na ang lahat? Because I can see a lot of number one figure in here. Now, what do you think is the answer for our first question? Correct ba yung statement? Or is it incorrect? Mm-hmm. Okay. Ayan, so I can see in here, yes, shout out nga pala sa lahat ng mga students dyan from Anislagan National High School. Ayan, lalaban pa rin kahit walang masyadong signal. All right, so we have the first answer in here coming from Carlo Miguel P. Malonzo. True. Baby Grace Pudador. True. Okay, let's try to check if your answers are correct. Okay, very good. Good job for the number one. The correct answer is true. Okay, this is the exact definition of editorial or editorial article. The second question we have in here, editorial must have a clear and effective reasoning to influence the reader's opinion. Again, sinasabi dito, editorial must have a clear and effective reasoning. Dapat logical yung reasoning nanyo to influence the reader's opinion so that you can persuade or convince your readers to believe in what you stand for. Is it true or false? Ayan. Do not forget to write the number of the question before your answers so that we can identify if what item you are answering is already. Okay, yes, you're correct, May Angela. Katharina, BB Janie Banyas Tante. True, yes, for number one, that's correct. Now, for number two, we have Carlo Miguel Malonzo. True. Okay, what about the others? Ayan, true. Okay, let's try to check if your answer is correct. Ayan, very good. True pa rin yung answer for number two. Of course, you must have an effective reasoning. Hindi ka magiging convincing if illogical yung mga arguments or assertions that you've included in your article. Next, let's have number three. The newspaper stand should be established immediately in the title. Again, the newspaper stand should be established immediately in the title. Sabi daw dito, yung title pa lang, alam mo na kung ano yung stand ng author about a certain issue. Now, do you agree with this statement, dear Fantastic learners? Yes or no? Write your answers in the comment section. Ayan. Yes, Riza Carmila, number two, true. Okay. Zaira Lee, very good. True. For number three, we have here Carlo Miguel Malonzo, true. What about the others? Ayan. Totoo bang sa title agad? Mm-hmm. Okay, we have true. Then Ryan, true. Let's try to check if your answers are correct. Ayan, dear Journtastic learners, the answer for the third question is false. Ayan. Though it is correct that we have to establish the title itself by arousing the interest of our readers, we have actually the establishment of the newspaper stand comes actually in the introduction. Yung sa title, syempre, yung goal natin is to arouse the interest of the readers. But if when it comes to the position of the staff position of the writer, it should be in the beginning or in the introduction. And that was discussed also by Tutor War the last time. Ayan. Hello, Roby Behera Sergio from Ocampo National High School. Let's go to number 4. In the body, arguments are arranged from least significant to the most significant ones. I'll repeat. In the body, arguments are arranged from the least significant to the most significant ones. Ang structure niya no, nagsisimula dun sa hindi masyadong importante to the pinaka-importanteng parts. Is it true or false? Write your answers in the comment section and do not forget to write the item. Number 4, Carlo, it's true. What about the other one? Okay. Yes. Hello, Riza, Carmela. Mm-hmm. What about the others? True. Okay. Let's try to check if true is the correct answer for number 4. Ayan. For number 4, dear Fantastic learners, the answer is still false. The structure of the editorial article follows the same structure with the news article, and it must start with the most significant to the least significant. Probably it has the same reason with writing your news story, but that is the typical structure when it comes to editorial writing. All right? So false your answer for number 4. Let's have the last item in here. And it's number 5, editorial of persuasion. Ayan, dito napapasok no yung kinds of editorial. Editorial of persuasion tries to present both sides of the issue or the pros and cons of the situation. Again, editorial of persuasion tries to present both sides of the issue or the pros and cons of the situation. Now, what do you think is the answer? Is it true or false? Okay. Mhm. Kasi maraming types, no, in the previous session, maraming types of editorial that Tutor War had presented to you. Alin kaya dun yung, kumbaga, appropriate for this definition provided in here? Is it really the editorial of persuasion or is it the other? Mhm. Meron tayong editorial of information, editorial of interpretation, argumentation, criticism, persuasion, and so on. Ano kaya? Is it true, yung statement dito, or false? Now, we have Carlo Miguel, true. Eliza, true. May Angela, true. Zyrali, true. Let's try to check if your answers are correct. Okay. For number 5, it is still false, our dear fantastic learners. Hindi to siya. It's actually the editorial of criticism. Both sides of the issue. Pag sinabi nating editorial of persuasion kasi, its purpose is to persuade the readers to support a program or a plan of action by enumerating the advantages that could be gained. Ayan, more on the what benefits can you get out from it. Okay. So, ayan na. Congratulations to our dear fantastic learners. How many scores or how many points did you get from the review that we have in here? Ayan, you type your scores in the comment section. Ayan. So while you are typing your scores in here, let us have this one. I do believe that kumbaga, this is the determinant of the Student Journalist of the Week, and this was the task given to you by Tutor War. The directions make a slogan on how you can encourage the Filipino to vote wisely this upcoming election. Make sure that your work would not endorse anyone. And with this task given to you by Tutor War, congratulations because you are already or you are the Student Journalist of the Week with your commendable output. It's no other than. All right, whose output is this? Ayan. So we have in here, congratulations. Carlo Miguel P. Malonzo of grade 7, Cream 5, Pampanga High School. Wow. This is his output no na talagang creatively crafted at the same time. May yung content at saka yung effort is palpable in there. Ayan. Congratulations, Carlo Miguel P. Malonzo. Ayan. So with that, let's move on. Now we have in here, I would like to share to you, dear Journtastic learners, a quote from Sam Riley, the editor of the American newspaper journalist. He says that the heart of journalism may be news reporting, and the soul of journalism, the editorial page. Ayan. This is pretty common. The idea that reporting is the heart and the soul is on the editorial is pretty common when we talk about campus journalism. But here's the thing. But the personality of the journalism is column. Ayan. So bakit kaya siya tinawag na personality of the campus journalism ang column writing? So we will find out later on. Now let us first define what is this editorial column. Now, everybody, editorial column is an article that contains the idea or opinion of and stand of the columnist on one or more timely issues. The columnist in here pertains to the writer. Now, editorial column is just actually the same with editorial article or editorial writing. So it has an idea in which it tries to um, analyze the issue, at the same time persuade the readers to do an action pertaining to that issue. Same sila with regards to that. But meron lang silang kaibahan. And what could it be? Okay? Editorial versus editorial column. Okay? The first column in here is for the editorial and the second one is for the editorial column. Now, for editorial article, okay, congratulations, Carlo Miguel, once again now. All right, so for the editorial article, no first person singular is used in your writing, meaning you cannot use the word I in expressing your opinion in the article. But when it comes to column, you can use the first person I in expressing your opinion about the issue. Pwede say I. Okay? The second one, in the editorial, bawal ang quotes or dialogue. Bawal kang kumuha ng quotations coming from different authors or a significant individual relevant to the issue you are discussing in the article. But in the column, it's okay to use quotes and dialogues. Ayan. The next one, editorial article is written with a specific formula. Like what I had said earlier in the review, it must follow the most significant one to the least significant ones. Okay, it's like the inverted pyramid. Same with the news writing. But when it comes to column, it is informal. It doesn't have a formula. It doesn't have what do you call this? A guideline or guidelines that you need to observe as a columnist. Okay. If you want to write it in that way, sure, you can do it. Okay. And the last one, in the editorial, express viewpoints of the staff. Editorial article is considered as the soul of the school paper since it stands or the opinion containing the article stands for the whole staff. But when it comes to the column, it is the personal viewpoints only of each staff. Meaning, kung sino yung writer, it is expressed, it is, the name of the writer is cited in the article since it reflects, or the opinion or the idea itself in the article reflects on the writer himself or herself. That is why, kung ma-observe natin, dear journalistic learners, no, when we are reading column articles or editorial column articles, may pangalan at the same time, may pictures yung ibang school paper, no? May ibang pictures kung sino yung nagsulat ng article na yan. Ayan. So, those are the distinctions of editorial column and our editorial article. Ayan. Hello, Brix Juvel Inglase from Caloocan High School. Ayan. And also Jamie Rosella S. Aranzanza. All right. Now let's move forward with what are the qualities of an editorial column? Okay. The first one is we have in here it covers timely topic or issue. Same with the other fields in campus journalism, you must focus on the topic na napapanahon. Huwag tayong mag-share, huwag tayong as much as possible we should write articles no na relevant in what is happening in the society nowadays. Kasi nagiging history na 'yan pag yung pag ano na siya, pag old stories. At the same time, it has a news peg. When we say news peg, it is somewhat like an angle of a news story, something like a part in which it can be considered as a newsworthy. Meaning to say, in the column writing, you do not just include opinions, your opinions as a writer, you must also include justifications as to why you have come up with those opinions, and that is in the form of news peg. Parang, kumbaga, it's a clip of a news story. Okay? The third one, it is written according to the style of the columnist. Again, pwedeng style or pwedeng any technique that you want to use in the writing, ang gagamitin mo in the editorial column writing. Okay? The next one is we have, it presents one or more varied topics or issues. Dear Journtastic learners, parang putahe din yan, no? As much as possible in our editorial column, we must include at least variety of topics. For us to ensure that our readers would be hooked at the same time, would be interested to read with it, to read our school papers in all times, then we must make sure that we provide them variety of topics na relevant, of course, in the happenings in our society. Ayan, so hindi lang about COVID-19, hindi lang about politics, it should be at least mixed up. Okay? The next one is the style and the presentation of opinion could be formal or informal. Since you, as a columnist, you have the privilege to use the technique that you want, then you could also opt to have it formal or informally. Ayan. So again, these are the qualities of an effective editorial column. Now, punta naman tayo sa columnist himself or herself. Ayan. So what are those qualities na dapat mong mapossess if you want to be an effective columnist? The first one is, okay, you must be a wide reader. This is not only applicable in editorial column writing. Being a wide reader encompasses all fields in campus journalism. In order for you to get substantial information, informative ones, you must be a voracious reader. Okay, you read news from all sources. It could be in newspapers, it could be in the televisions, or it could be in the social media. Just be careful with choosing the link that you are going to visit because sometimes may mga sources din na di masyadong credible. The next one is you must have a wide degree of knowledge on different topics or issues. Ayan. And of course, the second quality would not be reached, would not be made possible if you are not a wide reader yourself. So for you to gain a lot of learnings in all fields in life, you must be a wide reader. The third one, good judgment on events. So it is not just in reading. Okay? It is not just in reading, it is also on how well you are in analyzing the events, how well you are in choosing the stand that you wishes to express in your article. Ayan, so dapat marunong kang mag-evaluate no kung aling side kaya yung mas kumbaga better compared to the other. The next one is you have a sound logical reasoning. As much as possible, your ideas are connected. Your ideas are logically arranged pertaining to the issue at hand. Ayan. So you must have a wider source of ideas for you, of course, to come up with this sound reasoning. And the next one is you must be a keen observer. Alam nyo, campus journalistic learners, sometimes, ano din, okay din yung observant lang tayo, parang wallflower lang tayo kumbaga in one setup. For example, in an event. Kasi the more that we just observe, the more that we just become wallflower in that certain circumstance, the more that we can observe things na hindi basta-bastang nanonotice ng other individuals. Ayan. The more na hindi ka nagsasalita, the more na nagmamasid ka lang, the more that you will learn a lot. Okay? And that is a quality that you must possess as a writer, as a columnist. The next one is has wide vocabulary. Hindi mawawala to, no? Si vocabularies. As much as possible, your smooth flow of ideas can be supported with you having a lot of stock knowledges when it comes to words. Maraming words, either Filipino or English. And the last one is has his own style and originality. Sinabi na namin to sa previous sessions na in order for you to avoid committing plagiarism, in order for you to gain interest from your readers, you must have your own style and you must be original in your ideas. Creativity is the limit when it comes to column writing. Same goes with the other fields in campus journalism. Ayan. So, I hope na yung qualities na yun would be kept by you as you go on in your journey here in campus journalism, not only in here, but in all areas in your life. Now, let's have this kinds of editorial column. Ano nga ba yung mga klase ng editorial column natin? Okay, so we have in here the first one. The first kind of editorial column is the what we call multi-topical column. Now, what is this multi-topical column all about? It deals with many issues or topics garnished with personal opinion of the writers. Ayan. For me, it is one of the most challenging kind of column writing out from the kinds that we will be discussing in here. Challenging siya in the sense na you as the columnist, you must include or involve different topics but in one theme. Parang kumbaga, isa lang yung tema dapat ng topics mo or ng article mo, but then you have these subtopics na relevant or congruent pa rin sa theme that you wanted to establish in your article. Ayan. Hello, John Mark Yumena and Joanne Rose Malalis. Okay. So, I have here an example of multi-topical column. Okay, this one was written by Eric Justin T. Ramos. Okay, eyeballs. Na parang kumbaga may word kasi na ginagamit yung mga columnists natin to describe their opinions about the issue. Now, in here, his article is titled, We Are Our Own Worst Enemies. Yun yung pinaka-main title niya. But as what you can observe in here, dear journalistic learners, my subtopics. For instance, we have here the beggars in the street, corruption starts at home. We also have let us educate the people on speaking English, the last one. Diba? So, as what you can see in here, my central theme siya reflected in the title, but when you go to its body, its content, meron pa din siyang subtopics. Okay, so we are our own worst enemies. In this article, it's as if the columnist wanted to highlight kung ano-ano yung mga situations na nagpo-provoke sa atin or turning us ourselves into our worst enemies. The author has provided different scenarios or situations wherein we can see this kind of idea na ginagawa nating kalaban yung mismong sarili natin. For example, the beggars in the street. So, paano nga ba? Paano nga ba, kumbaga, inalign ni author yung idea na to dun sa central theme niya. So, we have in here, they have all the guts to spend money that come from every day of fear, hunger, pain, and perseverance of the poor. And the author pertains it to the rich people, to the government themselves, particularly. Ayan. I could see the government spending much on luxury cars, private guards, plush houses, and impressive lifestyle na kumbaga it's quite the contrast kung ano yung life ng mga beggars, ng mga tao na nakatira lang sa lansangan. Yan, no? So, this government somehow created themselves as the worst enemies rather, of their fellows. Okay? At saka, aside from that also, the author in the later parts of the article provided somehow means, ways on how to alleviate, on how to lessen this issue in our society. For example, the author says, let us educate the people. Ito yung kumbaga nakikita ni author na paraan para ma-solve or para somehow ma-mitigate natin yung um, yung poverty, yung kahirapan ng buhay kumbaga. So, yan. So that's multi-topical column. Next is the news analysis. News analysis is a type of column article or editorial column in which it only interprets um, essays or interprets information based on current events. Usually, yung mga information na to nakikita natin sa mga news. This type of column should be balanced and objective. So whatever is happening currently, whatever is going on that we can see in the televisions and social media, we can have those informations interpreted in our news analysis. Ayan. So the next one is we have the critical review. Yung critical review naman, somehow pretty common in our students. Kasi once the teacher would ask, write a review of the book you have read, write a review of the movie you have watched. Yan. Yung mga tasks na yun could be somehow, could be a means, could be a way for you learners to know how to write a column article. Ayan. So it falls under the category of critical review. Any form of arts, pwedeng play, pwedeng painting, anything na makikita natin, this can be subject for critical review. Now, the next one is the essay type column. Essay type column simply follows the typical structure of a paragraph or of a composition. It has an introduction, it has a body, at the same time, the conclusion. But what is important in here is that you still follow, you still keep the stand, the position that you wanted to express in your article. Ayan. So, example nito is from Earl Faye Ramos, Echoes. Strong Republic, are you worth it? Ayan. So, yung structure niya, nagpa-follow lang ng typical composition na usually ginagawa natin in schools. Ayan. The next one is the survey type column. This is also one of the interesting kind of column article in here. Kasi yung survey type column, yung content niya, kinukuha lang sa kung ano yung sagot ng mga students or sa participants. For example, in your school, you are the writer, you are a columnist, then you wanted to elicit responses, answers from your fellow students. Your fellow students now become your participants. Same with what is, or the example by Charmaine R. Molina in here, services. Okay, yung question niya, yung issue niya is about dapat ba na mag-wear ng uniform yung mga students or any form na lang, any dresses that we want to wear. So, yung question niya, do you agree on the newly issued policy of the DepEd on no compulsory uniform for elementary and high school students? If you were asked the same, our dear fantastic learners, what would be your answer? Would you agree na mag-uniform dapat? Or would you agree na hindi dapat piliting mag-uniforme yung mga students? Okay? Ayan. So, you have in here, no, because it is not nice to look at students who are not in uniform. This is from Nori Jane Obregon. So, yung mga exact responses ni students, yun lang yung kinukuha for this type of column article. Okay? And we also have the last one. This is not actually a kind of column writing or column article, but it is, or it can be found, this one can be found in the editorial page. Now, this is what we call the letter to the editor. Ito din, interesting din 'to kasi dito mo makikita yung sulat na ipinadala coming from the students dun sa editorial staff. Now, the letter sender, dun sa letter na yan, he or she expresses his viewpoint on a particularly timely issue. This is very important since 'pag nabasa kasi 'to usually ni administration, it is somewhat like calls for their attention na dapat, yung area na 'to dapat ma-solve na, okay. This is an example for that. So, we have here the student Rowena Ramos. She was the one who sent the letter to the editorial staff, and then the content of it talks more on the need for a library for the students wherein they could study. So 'pag nabasa 'to ni entire school, ni entire admin, of course, there will be a response to that. This is why the letter to the editor plays a crucial part in the school paper. Ayan. So let's go now, dear journalistic learners, to the next part of it. I hope that you had understood the types of column writing in here, but with the time constraints that we have, okay, we will have this assessment in our next session. Okay, so I'm just going to press. There you go. Let's go to the campus journalistic task of the week. So dito, again, madidetermine natin kung sino yung student journalist of the week. What is your task for this week, class? So this is your task. You just have to count out. Okay. You just have to cut out, capture, or screenshot one sample of an editorial column, identify its type or kind, and give a brief explanation on why your sample selected falls under that type or kind of column writing. So, pwede yung mga sources natin, pwedeng news article from a news, information or column article from a newspaper, pwede din sa online sources or anywhere na makakita kayo ng sample of column article, and then identify nyo lang kung anong type niya or kind, and then just a brief explanation kung bakit nyo siya napili. Ayan. So, you can post your samples or you can post your output in our DepEd ETUlay Facebook page using the hashtag Campus Journtastic Task. Ayan. So, screenshot this one, our dear Journtastic learners, for you to be guided. Ayan. And we would just like to express also our gratitude to the very main reference of this session, Campus Journalism in the New Generation by Jelly Eleheo Alquino 2011 edition. And I have also added in here some links that you could also use for reference at the same time our reference we used in this session. Ayan. Important announcement, dearest campus journalistics. Okay, so we have in here for May 2 to 13, we will not have any sessions because of the election related activities. Ayan. But we will resume the sessions on May 16 to 20, and that's the time also that we will resume our session. Yes. And then the recognition week, pinakaabangan ng lahat, that would be on June 20 to 24. So end ng quarter 4 at the same time, school year 2021-2022 is on June 24, 2022. Ayan. So maraming salamat sa ating mga students yan, no? Hello, yes, shout out sa Caloocan High School, Precious Lane Toledo, Regine Robles, Janelle Adame, and Isabel Nicole. Thank you so much for um, being in here, participating in our sessions, and we do hope that you have learned a lot from our session today. So please stand by for our next online tutorial that would be for the Teatro class. And if you want to have your feedbacks or suggestions to improve our session, do not forget to save the link that we have in here. Congratulations once again, Carlo Miguel P. Malonzo. And with that, this is your Tutor Zen for Campus Journalism for Beginners. See you in the next session, everyone. And with that, let me leave you a quote. We are travelers in the lane of love and learning. Down the road, we will surely meet again. Goodbye, dearest ETUlay buddies, campus journalistics, and thank you so much. I hope that you've learned a lot again. Thank you and have a nice day.
Ang husay naman! Natapos mo ang iyong tutorial session kasama ang iyong mahusay na ETUlay tutor. May bago ka bang natutuhan? I-share na yan gamit ang hashtag ETUlay Level Up. Huwag aalis ha, dahil may susunod pang programa na pwede mo ring panoorin at salihan. Dahil naghihintay na ang iyong mga tutors. Happy learning dito sa ETUlay!